And it was really helpful. I was like, especially on the first two exams, I was mad because obviously we've been working on all that stuff now, and so I totally knew the answers to the ones I missed. But she said that that this exam, she said, will pretty much cover everything. And so,
Dang it.
I know. She said it will have, she said, so if we just work on the practice, we should pretty much get it because the practice, she said, covers everything. So.
We've worked on the practice every other time, too.
I know, and so I told her, I'm like, we work on the practice
Yeah.
all the time, and some of the questions are not on the exam that are on the practice. And she's like, I know. She's like, I totally support this curriculum and everything, but there are some things that she's like just don't are tricky or whatever. And she's like there was one question that she did not like that was on the last exam, and she's like, I did not like that question because it was tricky.
Which one was she talking about?
I'm trying to remember. It had something to do with just asking a question and what scenario we would use.
Oh.
And she didn't like it because the way they worded it made it sound like it was something else when it was really the other thing. And she said pretty much every person missed it. And she's like, but the key word was whatever that was. And so I was like, oh, yeah. Like I think one of them, the keyword was percentages, and so it was a probability. And so that one was kind of, hey, I'm getting feedback. Catherine, is that from you?
No, it's not from me.
It's not. It shouldn't be from me. I've got my headphones in.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Weird. Oh, I didn't hear it that time. Wait. Nope, didn't hear it. Anyways, and she said it's like the probability one where it said percentage, and so you knew it was a proportions, sorry. And so it was a proportions one. And she said that everyone else didn't put the whatever that word is. It's too
Proportion.
early. Yeah, proportion. And they put the other one that wouldn't have been the proportions. But we went over that. I told her that we had gone over that in our like little group meeting about percentages and proportions, and so she's like, oh, good. And I told her that we kind of do meet on, she said that we do really good as a group, and she's really surprised that we do better than a lot. And I told her that, well, we've even met on Mondays to go over the quizzes that we've missed and just kind of go over them. And she's like, oh, I wish every group would do that. So she said that we're doing really good and that our group is doing really good.
It's probably because the other groups have men in them. I'm just kidding.
Hilarious. And we did get 100% on the describe the data.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that.
Which is good, because then I looked at the class statistic, and 5 of them got a B, and 2 of them got an F.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was noticing, too, on this next one where it's, Abby, it's you and me on this make inference, and and it looks like we both are kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And we both write a 2-page paper, kind of.
Yeah.
But are we both supposed to do it, or is it supposed to be together? Because I think it's
I don't know.
just one.
I was wondering that too.
Here, I'll look at it too, you guys. Hold on, let me pull it up. I was just looking at that. I downloaded that one. Oh, what is it? That she had. Remember, oh my gosh, it is so early in the morning. I cannot function. What's the words I'm looking for? You know the paper that she sent that had all the samples of the... Anyways, I just pulled those up on the docs to look and see what she said to study those. Even though those are a little bit easier than what's going to be on the exam, it will prepare us. So that was kind of good to know. Okay, so I'm going to look at the group project and see.
Because it's make inference and take action is one whole thing. It's not two separate things.
Yeah.
And like, so when I was reading it, like we both, so Abby, I don't know if you and me need to work on it together, like, and then we just turn in one thing for that.
Yeah.
You may want to email her and ask her how that's supposed to work.
Okay.
Yeah, because it might be that you guys, like one person takes half the questions and the other person takes the other half. Like one person writes one page and the other person writes a second page. And you guys split up the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll email her and find out exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm going to look at the make inference section. Oh, it just replied back to this. Okay.
Yeah.
It says it on the very first page that we turned in, where like we assigned each part.
Mm-hmm.
It says the main writer for make inference and then a main writer for take action. So maybe there's like questions for each, and you each write one page and then you put it together. But I just don't know who would turn it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
email her and find out exactly, and then.
I feel like I
It
got it
looks-
off easy.
You know, I honestly think, okay, here's what I'm thinking. After reading the questions, I think the two of you should get together and, because it looks like you guys are going to have to input this into SPSS and figure out what your alpha level is, your test statistic and value, and your p-value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether you guys are rejecting or fail to reject. And so I think together you guys would do that, and then maybe separately one of you answer, like do the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, and then the second person just write up the null, the hypothesis, all that stuff, and then write the conclusion. I don't know, because then 1 to 2 paragraphs describing the action you suggested based on the results of your study. I don't know. If it was me, I would want somebody to like work with me doing the statistic stuff of it, and then split up the writing part of it.
Abby, are you out of town all week?
I am.
So is there a time we can meet, like on just Google Hangouts?
Yeah, I have a very flexible schedule right now, so it's really nice. The only time I can't meet is Thursday at 2 to I think 4. No, just kidding. Yeah, 4 Mountain Time. No, 2 Mountain Time, 4 here. Yeah.
Well, what if we just meet at 4, like on Thursday after we meet as a group? We can all hang up, and then you and me can just work together.
Yeah,
Does that
sure
work?
Yeah, that works
all
great.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kind of look through it so that we can, and I'll tell you what I think, and then, okay, let's just plan that.
I did save the data, you guys. I don't want you guys to have to redo the data. I did save it on SPSS, so I'll try to figure out a way to email it to you guys.
That'd be really great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I inputted it all into SPSS, and so it's under my login. And so I wonder if there's a way I can email it to you guys. I'm not sure how, but...
I wonder if you could do it Google Docs, too.
Oh, you know what? I probably could. I'll try and figure out a way to save it to Google Docs, and then I probably have to do it under the school website, the school computer thing.
Yeah,
like
that's
log
what you
in
have
and,
to do.
Okay, so I'll try and figure that out because it's already inputted in there, and I hate for you guys to have to sit there and input all of that data.
Okay.
Again, if you don't have to. But I'm thinking I would just email her too and just get clarification on what she's expecting.
Yeah.
Before you guys just write up a paper or something, because.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Is I'll email her as soon as we're done here, and then so for Thursday I'll know what we need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll work on trying to figure out how to email that to you so you guys can have it. I mean, it didn't take long to put in, but it's still tedious.
Yeah.
To have to do that. So I'll look on that and see if I can save it into a Google Docs form, and you guys can pull it up through the school computer. And then you guys could check it and make sure that it's correct. I mean, we still got 100%, but you never know. I could have made a mistake. Okay. All right, so my problem with this whole homework assignment was just making sure I was doing every single step. Did you guys have issues with that too?
Yes.
Like, it was like, I'm like, okay, I have to get this graph, I have to get this graph, I have to get this graph, and I have to go through here to get that graph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I wrote down I don't even know where I wrote it down because I ran out of paper in my notebook because I've already filled up my notebook. So I found an empty, back, and I'm not sure where I wrote that down at, but I wrote it down, like, step 1 to do this. Oh, wait, hold on. Steps to solve problems. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So I don't know even if I got all of the steps in there for each graph. I think I just did it off of the homework assignment because I went ahead and started the homework.
Well, did you see the chart in the
flow? Yeah.
In the textbook that said requirements, how to check, and what you hope to see?
Yes. I think that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, and I made that chart too, to kind of, like...
Yeah, because it was like, I mean, after a while, I was like, okay, hold on. We were given so many...
First, you got to do the residual scatter plot, and then you have to check the QQ plots of the residuals to see if,
It kept going, and I was like, okay, wow. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Yeah, and that was like, and it was nice to have the chart, and that's what I kept referring back to. But then I got tired of referring to it, so then I ended up just kind of writing step 1, do this, step 2, do this. But anyways, okay, so I had no problems with it once I was able to just get it all down. But I just didn't know if I was the only one that was like, okay, a lot more steps in that versus the other thing.
Oh, we're done.
All of my kids are still sleeping. They stayed up late.
She's always the first one up because I put her to bed so early.
I went to bed before Natalie. Her and Nathan were up watching a movie last night. And Emma went to bed early too. And so it was just us. Oh, did I tell you, Tiffany, that we have her MRI scheduled?
Yeah, I thought it was last Friday, but is it this Friday?
It's this Friday, yeah.
Oh.
So we'll see what it says. But
good luck.
Thanks. I hate
That's
it.
Scary.
It does. Oh, did you guys know that Abby? Did you guys know that Emma's having issues? Did you guys see that?
I think you told me that, yeah.
I think, okay. Did I tell you that, Abby?
No.
Oh, Emma has a brain condition, and she had brain surgery when she was 6. And she had a huge miracle. This is like this very short version. She had a miracle happen when she was 7. And then just when we got home from our trip, she started having issues again. And so we have an MRI scheduled for Friday. So just keep her in your prayers if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's just scary because she's more scared now because she's obviously 13 and she now understands more. And so it's scary for her. Instead of being 6, I was able to hide a lot of the problems from her and the conditions and what to expect. So that was, now it's just she's more scared because now she knows what to expect. And it's just more scary for her. So we're just hoping that, I don't even know what I'm hoping. Because I know something's wrong, so I'm hoping that they figure out what it is. So I kind of hope it's not the same brain condition again, because that is very scary. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know when we know. We have a neurosurgeon appointment on the 6th. So, which is far away, but typically they let you kind of call you and tell you, hey, this is what we saw in the MRI before you even go to the doctor appointment. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah, because we've already been through it once. So, anyways, that's enough of Emma drama. Okay, so our group meeting, are you guys ready to start?
Yeah, I was just pulling up my SPSS here.
Oh, crap. Let me do that. I forgot.
Because we'll probably need it.
Yeah, because that will take the longest to pull up. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. I did get a new phone yesterday.
What kind?
Exciting!
I know. I got the iPhone 6.
Oh, fun.
How do you like it?
So far, I mean, it's the same as the 5. I had the 5C before, so it was kind of the same. But I like the whole fingerprint thing because then I don't have to type in the passcode.
Yeah. It's so nice. And then other people can't see you type down the passcode, too. I would have some really nosy roommates, and they would just, be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'd be like, oh, I'm typing in my passcode. Can you please not look or go through my phone?
Oh, that's
funny. So,
no, it was nice because I broke my other one. I cracked it, and I don't know if here I'll show it to you. This is my old one. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, yeah.
See, and so I was due for an upgrade anyways, and so I upgraded it. My husband bought it for me, and then so I'll show you my new one. He bought me the case and everything. I didn't even know. Let me see.
Oh my goodness, what a good husband.
I know, he bought me a cute little case.
I love it. And it's still really thin too. It's not big and bulky.
Yeah, he's like, do you want the 6 Plus? I'm like, no. I don't. I'm like, I want to still fit it in my pocket. So that was my stipulations. That's putting it in my pocket. Okay, I think I need to pull up the data still. Sorry, you guys. I'm really slow today. I hope you guys don't have issues.
No, I'm feeling the same way. So
I don't know what my deal is. I know. Caleb's gone on. Did you guys see that? That Caleb's gone on EFY? I'm so happy for him. I talked to him last night, and he was like, he's like, Mom, it's so fun up here.
Did you just talk about the girls?
No, he didn't.
About a cute girl.
I asked him, are there any cute girls up there? And he's like, yeah, I guess. He's totally not into that. And then his roommate is his best friend. And I was like, and he's like a total girl freak. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure Rigdon's already, called all of them. And he started laughing. He's like, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, that's hilarious. And then Rigdon is so cute. He's such a cute little boy. He was the one, if you look at that picture, he's the one standing next to Caleb, and he's short. And so he's a lot shorter than Caleb, and he's so cute. He's all, oh, I have to find a short girl.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, you do, Rigdon. You need to find a short girl. And it was so funny. And so He's having fun. He said that the food was good. He liked dinner. I was like, well, that's good. We'll see how you like breakfast. And luckily, he used to be a picky eater, and luckily, as he's gotten older, he hasn't gotten so picky. Like, so now he kind of eats whatever. But I'm glad this is the first time he's ever done it, and so I'm excited for him. I think it'll be good for him. So I'm just missing him. My husband's like, you can't keep doing this. You're going to go crazy once he leaves on a mission.
I know.
I'm like, I don't want to think about it. At least I can talk to him as much as I want right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, he's having fun. Okay, I'm all pulled up. I think I'm ready.
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Are we supposed to fill out that flow chart? Because I didn't fill out much more than what was. Actually, I did kind of fill out a little bit more.
I did. I filled in quite a bit, but I don't know if we need to.
I think it's for your own use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay. The true linear regression equation is that.
Oh, hold on. I'm pulling mine up here.
Okay.
So let's pull it up. SPSS. Group meeting.
It's the third one, by the way.
Start. Yes.
C.
True. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
equals 0 and does not equal 0.
Yeah.
The residual.
Is the difference between the observed value y and the value predicted by the regression line.
Yep.
See, plot of residual support. Sorry, if I'm like.
No, you're fine.
Going really fast.
I'm just reading along with you. The plot of residual supports using linear regression when. Okay, hold on.
Let's see a pattern of the residuals. The residuals are positive. You see megaphone shape.
If there's a pattern in the residual, it suggests that the linear regression is not appropriate. So,
I think residuals are normally distributed, if I remember reading correctly.
With 0 meaning.
It says here a residual plot is a scatter plot where the x-axis shows the independent variable and the y-axis presents the residuals for each value of x.
With 0.
Okay, so hold on. A plot of residuals supports using linear regression. The plot of residuals. Okay, where's that chart at? Let me find my chart.
I know.
This residual plot. Yeah, a residual plot is a scatter plot where the x-axis shows independent variable and y-axis represents the residuals for each.
Okay, you hope to see in a residual plot no megaphone shape in the residuals and no pattern in the residuals. So that's what you hope to see in a residual plot.
And I don't think it matters if the residuals are positive or negative, does it?
No, I think it's the megaphone one, right?
No, they don't. I thought you did. You don't want a megaphone.
You don't want a megaphone, and you don't want a pattern.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's the normally distributed with 0 mean, because there are negatives. Because when I was looking at the graph that's in the book, there's both positive and negative numbers. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say it's the residuals with normally.
Okay, because there are negative numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Compute the residuals for the math self-efficiency data. Okay, so let me go to math self-efficiency and pull that up. Oh, whoa, hold on. Okay.
My laptop is going really slow. Oh, here we go. Oh, finally.
Okay, so confidence data we need to put in the explanatory, and that is.
So what am I? Are we doing that? What are we looking for? Okay, go back to it.
Okay, so the confidence data goes in your X variable, the independent variable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sorry, right now it has the advertisement thing, the licensing material. It's taking a long time to load. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so confidence goes, what did I say, independent? And score goes into dependent, right? Was it score that we're doing? Yeah. Because response is dependent. Okay. Save. Unstandardized and
Yep.
standardized.
Okay. I've got mine pulled up. And then
Statistics. I'm going to just go ahead and do confidence. I'm just like doing all of those little things.
All of them.
Because, yeah, what we're. Okay, I don't know what we're looking for yet.
Yeah, that's it. Let me go back.
What statement best describes the residuals?
Oh. Okay. So.
Guys, my SPSS is moving so slow.
Now I need to
finally. Okay. Oh, sorry, what? Sorry, what was that? Sorry, I just totally talked over something.
Okay, well, there's negatives and positives in the residuals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
I didn't pull up a pattern. I didn't pull up a graph yet. So let me pull up a graph.
Are you doing a scatter plot?
It's not. It has to be form a linear pattern.
So do I have score? Do I have score on the y-axis or x?
Score is on the y-axis.
Okay, and then confidence rating is on the x-axis. Okay, I just pulled that up. So our scatter plot
is I guess hot dog. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not really. Is it hot dog?
It has to be a linear because the residuals go higher than 25, so it's not between those two.
It is linear.
Okay, so it is a linear. Okay, so residuals, the maximum is 23.
I'm not.
I haven't.
Well, it says the residuals are between negative 40 and 25, and that's the minimum was negative 38, and the maximum was 23.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong number.
I'm just looking at the thing where it says residual statistics, and then it says residual minimum maximum.
Yeah, I see that. I was looking at the one above it, too.
Okay, so what's the residuals form a linear pattern? Okay, so do we need to do the... Oh, hold on. So graphs,
the QQ
legacy.
plots.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's the QQ plot. Okay, hold on. QQ plot. Or I'm going to do explore. The dependent was what? Crap. Unstandardized residual. Right?
Yeah.
Plots, normality plots, continue. Okay. Okay, let me see what this looks like.
Okay, I'm pulling that up too. Okay.
Okay, well, they're pretty much all on there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, can it be both?
Well, it says which statement best describes residuals. So would we say that it's the between negative 40 and 25?
I would, because
that
the
is
linear
clear in the numbers. Because the linear we could be off about.
Yeah, and plus some of them aren't directly on that line. Some of them are kind of off. What statement best describes?
Yeah.
But when we go in and describe, I don't want to, when we go in and describe, we don't ever say it's between this and this. We always say there's a linear pattern. You know what I mean? When they're saying describe the data.
A linear pattern, so the third one?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of when it says in the problems, past problems, they've always said describe your data, and we've always just said a linear pattern. We've never said it's between negative 40 and 25. You know what I mean? Like we've never said they've always just said, oh, it's formed a linear pattern. So I don't know what they're asking for.
Positive too, so it can't be negative.
I don't know.
Residuals between 40 and 25, that sounds like...
well, they are between that because it's negative 38 and 23.
Well, we could have always just, like, at the end, one person turn it in.
Okay.
And see what it is.
But yeah, I've never heard it described as negative 40 and 25. And usually, at least in the preparation, the homework, it asks for the pattern. And you look on the answer key and it says like linear, positive, strong, things like that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering because we've never, when it says describe something, we've never said that the residuals are between whatever and whatever. We've always just called it a linear pattern.
Yeah.
That's where I'm just kind of iffy on it. Even though the first one is correct, it is between negative 40 and 25. It just makes me wonder if that's what they're really looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just skip it and go on to the next one and see, maybe we'll figure it out. Okay, based on the QQ plot for this residual, what can you say about these residuals? They're fairly normal.
That's what I was going to say.
Because they're on the line, pretty much.
So, I mean, they are normal. So the first one is clearly not normal. That's not right.
That's not right. And we're not looking, we've never looked for left skewed, right skewed during this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, use QQ, okay, use software to use it, okay. Give the scatter plot, residual plot, and the QQ plot. Which of the 5 assumptions about linear regression are satisfied by this data? Check all that apply. Okay, so according to our plots that we've made, okay. Did you guys make all your plots?
I have the scatter plot up currently.
Okay, I didn't do one of them. I think it was one of the scatter plots. I didn't do the unstandard or the...
I did the scatter plot. I did all of them.
Okay, I'm doing... Okay, so I take out the score, correct? And I put in the unstandardized residual.
Yeah, under the residual, yeah.
To get the scatter, okay, and that one looks scattered. It doesn't look like there's anything. Okay, let me look at my chart again. No, wait, hold on. There we go. Okay, I have my scatter plot, which looked like a hot dog shape. I have my residual plot, which there's no pattern. I made a QQ plot of the residual, and they're pretty much on the line. And this residual plot doesn't look like a megaphone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going over them again real quick. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that looks like the hot dog. Okay. I don't know. I'm looking again.
Which of these 5 assumptions about linear regression are satisfied by this data? Check all that apply. There is a linear relationship between X and Y.
Yes. Residuals are normally
distributed. The variance of the error term is constant for all values of X. The X values are measured without error, and the observations are independent. So there is a linear relationship between X and Y. And we said the residuals are normally distributed.
I'm looking for the error term. Oh, that's going to be, the error term is,
QQ plot of the residual points in the QQ plot are close to the line. Just trying to look and see like how they worded all of these. Oh,
Lost Abigail.
yeah. She'll catch up. She'll catch on. Okay, so I don't remember reading any. Okay, let me go back to the text spec real quick.
about the error term?
Well, about all of those terms,
All of
like
them?
how they're
Yeah.
all okay, like what we want to see on each one of them. So I'm gonna go through the text spec real quick and see. Okay. We know that y will not fall exactly on this line. There will be some randomness observed. Okay. Checking requirements of simple linear regression. There is a linear relationship between x and y. The error term is normally distributed, which is the E thing. The variance of the error terms is constant for all values of x.
Yay! Oh, it works. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, what
You're
one
fine.
are we on?
We're still on the same one.
Okay.
The x's are fixed and measured without error. In other words, the x's can be considered as known constants, and the observations are independent. So did that help answer anything?
Well, it says to check normal error term, we have to check the QQ plot of the that word. And then we want to see the points in the QQ plot are close to the line.
So
yeah, I did that one, and that one, they are close.
But then when you go through, Holly, it says to check requirement 1, we do 2 things.
Okay.
Do you see that? So the first is to make a scatter plot and to visually check to see if there's a linear relationship between x and y.
Which we did, and there is.
And this has been referred to as the hot dog shape. And then
there's the error term.
The second, what is it? We do
the
2
error
things.
term. The error term and the variance of error terms is consistent for all values of x.
And we want to make sure that there's no distinct curvature or other nonlinear characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one with the line going horizontal, right? Right? Is that the right one or no?
No, I can't have you on it. On here.
I'm sorry, Holly, what was your question?
Is that the one where the line is horizontal? It has that line going horizontally through everything?
No, this one should still just be your scatter plot.
Oh, okay. So regression, analyze regression, linear. Okay, so I did that one. Confidence interval, correlation, save, unstandardized. Okay, I already did that. Residual plot, graphs, legacy dialog, scatter plot, the one predicting in Y. Okay, double click, elements, fit the line at the total. Okay. Graphs, legacy, scatter plot, unstandardized for residuals to Y, which I did. And then the QQ plot. Analyze descriptive statistics, explore, unstandardized residuals to the dependent plot, normality plot. Okay, I think I did all those.
Oh, so.
I thought
So number 3 on the if they're normally distributed, they are the constant. So on this graph, this is what we're supposed to check. So the normal error term, the QQ plots of the residuals, what we checked, and points in the QQ plot are close to the line. So yes on the second one. Constant varies. The residual plot. No megaphone shape. So the third one is true.
Yeah.
So we
okay.
check that, right?
Mhm.
Because there's no megaphone. And then x's are known are constants. Cannot be checked directly. X's should be measured accurately and precisely. Okay, so how did you check that fourth one, Holly?
The x's are fixed and measured without error, so they're constant. Hold on.
Because on this chart it says cannot be checked directly. X's should be measured accurately and precisely. That's what you hope to see.
That's what you hope to see. I think that's the one where you assume if the other ones are correct. I think that's the one where you assume because you cannot check those.
Oh, because we conclude that they're normally...
We conclude that they're normal based off of the other ones because that's 4 and 5.
Are. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
and
4 and 5 of the other ones.
So observations are independent, cannot be checked. Knowing the value of one of the y's tells you nothing about any other points. So, and yes, that's true. So you marked all of them, right?
Yeah, okay.
All of the requirements are met?
Wait, how'd you get that the last one was met?
The last one, because knowing the value of one of the y's tells you nothing about any other points.
Right, so I thought we wouldn't be able to tell if the observations are independent or not, because we can't check it directly.
Hold on, I'm going through the... Wait, I don't think I did this one. Hold on. Did you do the residual plot?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so for 8, which ones do we have marked off? Because I have the middle one and the first one and the last one.
I think
I have all of them.
all of them. That's what I have.
I have.
Well, you have all of them marked off? Okay, because it was the thing is that right on the the second one, it says the residuals are normally distributed, but it says that the error term is normally distributed, not the residuals.
Well, but to check that in this plot is the QQ plots of the residuals. And if the points in the QQ plot are close to the line, then that requirement is met.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Okay. So then...
And they were.
The fourth one is x values are measured without error. It says that they're fixed, and it has fixed in bold. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm dyslexic. In my mind, it was bold. But, it says fixed. And so...
Abby, this is what it says in the book about checking the requirements. And it says, in order to do a hypothesis test and confidence interval using a regression line, we need to be sure that certain conditions are satisfied. There are 5 requirements for a linear regression model. Yeah. Number 1, there is a linear relationship between x and y. Number 2, the error term is normally distributed. Number 3, the variance of the error terms is constant for all values of x. Number 4, the x's are fixed and measured without error. In other words, the x's can be considered as known constants. And number 5, the observations are independent. These must be satisfied in order to conduct a hypothesis test or create confidence intervals involving regression lines. We will illustrate the process of checking requirements using the equestrian crocodile data, estuarian, whatever. So the first one, we do a scatter plot. And that is just with the x and the y, not a regression. And we check to see if they're close. We check to see if they're linear, which we did. And they seem linear. Even though they're kind of scattered far apart, they still seem like a hot dog.
Yeah.
And then the residual plot, there's no pattern.
Yeah, so then the residual for an observation is defined as the difference between the observed value of y and the predicted on the residual. So we did that by doing the analyze, regression, linear, and then we moved, then we do the save residuals, and then we hit the unstandardized. And then we do the plot, which you do by legacy dialog and scatter. And you move the residual line into the y-axis. And then that gives us a scatter plot with a line going horizontal. And you just want to make sure that there's no pattern to that and that it's not a curvature or a megaphone, which we did, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no pattern or a megaphone. So that one is met. So that's the second one. The third one is the QQ plot, and that is to make sure that all the lines are close to the line. They're on the line or very close to it, which we did, and that is met. So number 3 is met. Okay, so then 4, on the chart, it says X's are known constants, but it cannot be checked directly. And so X's should be measured accurately and precisely. And then the number 5, it says observations are independent and it cannot be checked directly. Knowing the value of one of the y's tells you nothing about any other point. So that's what it says in the chart. And it says if these requirements are met, then it's reasonable to assume that the use of regression with the data is appropriate. So there's they don't exactly tell us how to make sure it's satisfied with the X values are measured without error or the observations are independent because there's no specific way to check it. But in all the things that we've done, we kind of assumed if the first 3 are satisfied, then we would assume that the second 2 are satisfied. That's kind of how I thought it was.
Okay.
What do you guys think? Does that make sense, or is that?
Yeah.
I remember him watching his video, and I think he touched on that for a minute, saying, "Oh, I'm trying to remember." And I thought he even wrote it down too. We're in lesson 23, right? Okay.
Guys, we have this meeting, next meeting,
And then one more.
and one more. That's crazy.
I thought we didn't have one next week.
No, I think we have one.
Just to review, right?
I think it's no.
Oh wait, no, that's this.
Yeah, it's. Or is that this week?
No, that's this week.
Yeah, that's this.
I
This
thought
week's
we
our
had
last
one to do our PowerPoint.
That's right.
I thought we were just gonna. I don't know what we were gonna do with that.
I don't know. I thought we had to do one more for the PowerPoint, but which was next week. I don't know. I'll have to relook at it when we're done with this. Okay, so hypothesis testing for inference by Bivariate. Step 1 is to state the hypothesis. Step 2 is calculate the test. Okay, determine the degrees of freedom, determine the p-value, reject the null, state the conclusion. That tells me nothing. Okay. Confidence intervals. Okay, residual plot. Check to see met, no pattern, which is the residual plot SPSS. Okay, key plot of residuals. Okay, check points are close to the line. That's all I've written down.
Yeah, when I'm looking through my notes, I get how to do the first 3, but I
could have sworn in the video he said something about it. About like if the first 3 are met, then you know the other 2 are too.
And that makes sense. I just don't have anything like.
But I thought he said that in the video, so that's why maybe that's where I'm getting. Maybe he didn't, and I'm just making it all up. Okay, I'm looking in. I'm looking in the example that they did in the book, which is of the crocodiles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they check their p-value. Okay,
well, it says at the very last line before requirement summary, the QQ plot of the residuals for the crocodile data show a straight line. We do not have evidence of non-normality in the residuals. So we conclude that the residuals are normally distributed.
Maybe that's where I got it from. It was in the homework. Hold on. It was in the crap, not that. Hold on. Just a second. I have to pull up a new... Crap, where's
So
my
pull up
thing?
the homework.
Yeah, it's...
For the preparation or the homework for this one?
I'm looking, because I started on the homework. And I finished it yesterday, so it might be the homework. So let me go to the course.
I can pull it up here too.
I'm pulling it up. Hold on. Because it was in the answer key of how they worded it. So, let me see here.
Which one are you pulling up, and I'll pull up the other one?
I'm pulling up the homework answer key.
Okay, I'll do the individual prep answer. Oh, yeah, the prep answer key.
Okay, so the appropriate graphs to check for a linear relationship are a scatter plot and a residual plot. The scatter plot seems to show a linear relationship, and there's no pattern in the residual plot, so we can conclude that there's a linear relationship. The appropriate graph to check for a constant variance is a residual plot. There is no pattern in the residual plot, so we can conclude that there's a constant variance in the data. The appropriate graph to check for a normal error term is a QQ plot of the residuals. The points to the plot are close to the line, so we can conclude that there is a normal error term in the data. Okay, so it wasn't in that one, the first one.
Okay,
There's like a lot. So check yours. I'm still checking.
So part one, check what are the 5 So same thing. Answer these questions by filling in the following chart. Yeah, parameter. Okay, I'm looking. Okay. X's are fixed and measured without error. In other words, the X's can be considered as known constants. We will assume that X's have been measured accurately and precisely. So that's what it says for the X's.
Okay.
And then for the observations are independent. We will assume that the Y's are independent.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like if the other three are right, then
it just
the
says
other two are right. Maybe that's where I got that from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that sounds good to me.
Let me see here. Okay, so now we have to check the other. Okay, so the slope, I got 12.695.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pulling mine up. No. 12.695?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the confidence interval? I'm assuming it's for
10 to 14.
Okay, let me look over here. Okay, 10.674 and 14.715.
Yeah, 42.
Oh, 742. What did I say? Oh, I got 715, but...
Mine says 715 too. But,
oh, okay. Well, remember, like, they had two different answers if you did it in Excel or in SPSS. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
Okay. So as long as we're close. Okay, based on the evidence and using level of significance.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm going back to it now. I was looking at my SPSS. So we're doing the 10.70.
Yeah.
The first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
14.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to look at the... Oh.
Based on the
so
evidence.
it's 0.
Yeah, so it's going to be rejecting the hypothesis because the p-value is less than
alpha. Okay.
Yeah, so second one. Yeah.
Okay, for a hypothesis test of the slope, if you reject the null, what does it mean?
I thought that there's significant evidence to conclude that the slope of regression line is not 0.
So I have if the slope is 0 and no, then it means there's no linear relationship. If the slope is not linear, if it's not 0. Did that make sense?
Okay, since 0 is not in the confidence interval, wait, is the slope in the confidence interval or no? No. We can say that the slope does not equal 0.
So
we have sufficient evidence to conclude that the slope of the regression line is not 0.
Yes. because we rejected it, so then you say sufficient. And since 0 is not in the confidence interval, we know it cannot equal 0. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Which variable is the dependent variable in the equestrian crocodile data? Well, I don't know. What did they ask for? We've been doing the math one.
Well, so do we go back to the book? Is that what it's?
I know.
Well, it's trying to determine the body length based off of the head length, right?
Yeah, head length is independent.
So what did they say? What one is the what one? The dependent?
Dependent was the body. Because you couldn't really guess the head size from the body, but from the head size you could guess the body. That's what I understand correctly.
I wrote it down. Hold on. Okay, predict the body length. And so the body length is your response variable, which is your dependent variable.
Yeah.
I wrote it in my notes. It is example 1.
Yeah. So body length. Okay.
Since the 99% confidence interval for these data is, okay, what can you say about B1?
Oh, guys, this process takes forever. Ugh.
I would say the first one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
okay, interpret the slope as the number of whatever's on the x-axis increases by 1. Then okay, that's not a. Ignore what I'm saying.
Okay, so we are 99% confident that the mean is in between those two numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a
Okay.
99% chance the confidence interval is between.
I don't think it's that one because it says chance.
It's chance. It's not that one.
Yeah.
And we don't know what the alpha
level of
is.
Significant. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the last one. Because right here, I just have, since 0 is not in the confidence interval, we can say that B1 does not equal 0, or beta 1 does not equal 0.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
The first one.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
have
think
on
too.
Okay.
Okay, so I just submitted it.
Oh.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
13's wrong.
13?
13?
Yep.
So it's head length?
Oh, did y'all click body length?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's body length.
Oh. I was like...
Number 8's wrong, too.
Number 8?
Oh, that's, okay.
I think this is two that we weren't so sure about. The second to last one and the second to first. I said that right.
So, oh dear.
The thing is that residuals aren't the same as error term, even though that they're connected, and they kind of overlap. But residuals, huh?
No, go ahead.
It says residuals are. What was the answer? We put it on our quiz. Residuals. Hold on. I got this. It says is a difference between the observed value of y and the value predicted by the regression line. Error term is means something different. I could totally tell you on a regular day, but today is not a regular day.
Okay, because error term is the one that's supposed to be normally distributed.
Yeah.
The QQ plots, yeah.
Not the residuals.
Yeah. So, and then, what was the second one? The other one is that it doesn't say fixed on it, And that's a really big deal because if they're just moving around, then it doesn't, like, it doesn't, like, you can't measure it without error.
Okay.
So you're thinking number 4 is not on it?
I don't think
Yeah.
so, just because fixes.
It doesn't say the same exact wording as what's in the book because it says in the book it says the x's are fixed and measured without error.
So, and that makes sense. So just number 4, do you think?
And number 2.
And number 2, and why
number
number 2?
Because the number 2 says the residuals, and in the lesson book it says the error term. It says the error term is normally distributed, not the residuals are normally distributed.
And residuals and error term are not the same.
No, and that makes sense, but it says for that requirement, how to check it is to check the QQ plot of the residuals.
I think that the residuals are more of a tool in the QQ plot than it is actually the error term. That makes sense. If I made sense.
Okay, so Catherine, are those the only 2 we missed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to submit mine. I took out number 2 and number 4. No.
See, I think number 2 is on.
Oh, I got number 6 wrong.
Did you not change it?
I didn't.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
so
it's the between -40 and 25.
Yeah, it's negative 40 and 25.
okay. But did you get number
I got number 8 wrong.
8 wrong? See, I think number 2 is in, so I'm going to submit mine. I
Okay.
just take off number 4. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got something wrong. Let me see. It's probably that one. Yeah, I got 8 wrong.
Maybe? Okay, so we know for sure that the linear relationship between x and y.
Yeah.
And we know for sure that the variance of the error term is constant for all values of x, correct?
Yes.
Because those 2 were for sure that we found out.
So maybe take off 5 too. Take off 2, 4, and 5.
Oh, see, sorry, I kind of already submitted it too. I was like, oh, cool. Instead I took off number 2 and kept number 4. So.
And you got it wrong too?
And I got it wrong too.
Yeah, I had.
Maybe it's just 1 and 3 that are right.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Because we know for sure that those 2 are right.
The first and third one, yeah. But the others maybe were. You know, I'm going to go over my exams with the teacher too. And so maybe I'll ask her like exactly how we measure these things
Okay.
too, and
Let
then
us know.
yeah, today's Tuesday, so I'll let you know Thursday unless you want to know before.
I want to know before.
Well,
I'm probably going to take the quiz.
Well, I guess it depends on when I meet with her though too.
Okay.
Like.
And I can ask her. You know what? I can even ask her because she told me to just call or text her if I have any other questions, or email her. And so I'll probably send her an email and just say, hey, we missed this on today, and can you tell me how, like, what is the right answer, and tell me how before we take the quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll see and I'll let you guys know. I'll send you a note, and if it's easier to do it on Hangouts, then we'll plan something. If not, we can just do it through texting.
Well, are you emailing her or texting her that?
I'm gonna email her.
Why don't you just?
I already emailed her earlier. What?
I was gonna say if you're just emailing her that question, just CC the rest of us.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So then her reply will go to all of us.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna ask her other things, then that's fine. But.
No, I'm gonna hold on. I closed out of my. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm gonna copy and paste this question onto the email. Copy. new. I'm doing it real quick, so
You're fine.
I get it done. Paste. Whoops, just kidding. Okay, so I sent it to her, and hopefully she'll get back to us soon.
Okay, so I was looking at the PowerPoint presentation and Thursday's group meeting. And it says for Thursday's group meeting, it says power presentations and review for exam 4. But, I mean, project presentations. But we're not going to be done with all the information, so I don't know what that means exactly. But for the, like, actually turning in the PowerPoint presentation is just turning in the PowerPoint online. So I don't know how we want to do that. Like, since I really got like the easier one, the very first one, and I didn't really have to write anything, we could just all send the information to me and I could put it together and then send it, the PowerPoint, back to y'all and see what y'all think of it and if we need to change anything or add anything. And then I can turn it in for us.
Okay.
Or if we want to do a meeting sometime next week. I don't know how busy my week will be next week because I have my exams, my classes, and I have to do a white glove clean check and finish packing. So next week's going to be pretty tight for me, but I mean, I could probably do a meeting in the morning again. But it's up to y'all, whatever y'all want to do.
I'm good with anything. I'm good. So whatever.
I'm good too with, I'm good with whatever.
My schedule is very flexible here, so.
So Catherine, why don't you see if you can do it, if you have time.
Okay.
At any time, and I think the rest of the three of us can kind of work around your schedule next week, it sounds like.
Okay, because I'm just like super confused, like trying to look at the little sidebar when you're on the I Learned for Math 221B. And it says like lesson 4, and you have the individual prepping, group meeting, and homework, which is all for the exam 4. But then under course conclusion, there's
another.
Yeah, there's unit 4 exam, and then there's individual prep, group meeting, and all that again.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. And that's like, there's lesson 24, and then there's lesson 25. So I'm confused by that.
So on the lesson.
Go ahead.
I'm just looking at the same thing.
Yeah, and the lesson 25, like, stuff isn't available yet.
But so on lesson 24, are we just doing the review for the exam, and then next week we're doing the review for like the.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I've been emailing stuff. Abigail, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's your email? It's not coming up on my end.
Oh, wait, for school or for Gmail?
Whatever one you want Sister Withers to reply to.
Okay. Let's see. Probably my school email. So it's SAN12075 at byui.com. But yeah, probably
For
that
some
one.
reason it went up for you. Okay.
Oh, it finally went up? Or did it just not pull up?
Because what this looks like is that she just has 2 group meetings and 2 like lessons for reviewing the exam. But I'm looking in the book right now to see what lesson 25 is. Okay, there is no lesson 25.
So it's more just for review.
I guess it's just a review again.
Okay, so lesson 24 is our review for the exam.
Right. And
Our group
that's
meeting is going to be that quiz of the review, like it always has been.
right.
Then we have a course survey. Okay, so then our
But
course
then-
conclusion.
Yeah, and then there's the Unit 4 exam, which then has lesson 25, individual prep, group meeting, homework, etc. But there is no lesson 25 in the book, so I'm confused that if we have to meet next week or how that is. And the information isn't pulling up until 2 days from now.
So
I'm
we can.
assuming it's going to be. I'm assuming they put lesson 25 as a filler because there's not, and that might be.
It may just be for us to review again.
Just to review for the final. That's what I'm thinking, because there's no group collaboration part of that anyway, so you don't have to put anything in on that lesson 25.
On the calendar, there's nothing due on Tuesday.
Yeah. So I think
It just has evaluation due on the 23rd and the PowerPoint due on the 23rd. That's the only thing that's due. And then our exam is the 22nd.
So I think I wouldn't mind meeting next week to review anything, if anybody wants to.
Okay.
So
how about those
if you
that
guys,
can? Because we don't have to record it. We can meet like on Monday or Tuesday because the exam we have to take by the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by the 22nd is the exam, and then the 23rd is our evaluation and our PowerPoint presentation. So it looks like tomorrow or Thursday is our last group meeting, official group meeting.
Yeah, and even then we don't have to record that one. Okay,
Yeah,
let me
that
look
one's,
real quick at my calendar. Okay, so I have a pre-cal test and English test on the 21st. So maybe could we do it on the 20th? We could meet on the 20th.
Can you? Do you want to? What time is your test on the 21st?
I can go at any time since it's in the testing center.
Oh, the testing center was here. Oh.
So it's open until 9, so I just have to take it at some point before 9 p.m.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say we could even do it after, so that way you have all day Monday to study for your exams, and then once that's out of the way, you can meet with us after that's over.
Because I'm gone Monday.
So would we want to do it Tuesday morning? We could just do it Tuesday morning because I don't have any classes on Tuesday.
Okay. Well, do you feel comfortable talking about this before your pre-cal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It won't bother me.
Okay. Well,
okay, so we can just do it Tuesday, and we can just do it at the same time.
The same time Tuesday? Okay. We'll just make that our last group meeting, and we'll go over the exam stuff. And if we have any PowerPoint issues or anything like that, we can go over that too that day.
That sounds good.
Yep.
So I already have, I'm pretty sure in the email I have everyone's papers that they turned in so far for the project.
Yeah,
so
I think
Abigail, just whenever you finish, if you could email that to me and I can start working on that this weekend.
The ones that me and Abby are doing?
Yeah. Whenever y'all finish that, just email it to me.
Okay.
And that'll be good.
I leave Friday afternoon, so I'll hopefully get it done before that.
Okay.
I'm heading through Idaho Falls again, up to Island Park, but
it'd be really
fun.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I want to get out of the heat.
Oh, it's actually pretty cool up here right now.
Oh, stop bragging. Here, let me tell you what the temperature is right here. Okay, so hold on.
It's been in the 80s here last week, so it's been
No, stop.
And it's been
Okay, let me tell you. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Here.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and it is 90 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Today's high is supposed to be 108.
Oh my gosh.
And the low is 81.
That is too hot for me.
And the low is 81 at, let me tell you, wait for it, at 5:27 in the morning.
Hey, you want to know our temperature here in sunny Rexburg?
Yeah, what is it there?
Our temperature currently is 65, and it's
Oh,
morning.
it's like high as a 68.
Okay, let me tell you.
Our high is 79.
Let me tell you. 65 is the high in our winter, okay?
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I know. I live in Texas.
That is December weather. However, we are getting a cool down on Saturday and Sunday of 95 and 97 because there's storm coming in.
Oh, it's such a cool down.
Yeah, it's
I
such
know.
a cool down. So yeah, it's a little. It's so hot, and like next Tuesday it's supposed to be 108.
Oh my gosh. Like even now in the 90s, I like go outside and then I'm like, yeah, no, we'll go back in.
Yeah, like your skin is melting. You feel like it's burning you when you walk outside. Like I can't do anything. We go out, we'll go to the pool, and that's it. Like if I can't get in, I'm not gonna be outside. Like
Yeah.
I have to be in the water. And even by the end of August, the water in the pool is like warm, like a bathtub, because it's been heating up all summer. So it doesn't even cool you off anymore. Like the only way to get cool in like August is to use the hose because it hasn't been sitting in the heat all day long. So it's ridiculous.
Wow.
So we go through a lot of water here, and I know it's horrible because we have such a bad drought, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's the way that you keep cool. It's pretty.
That's
I want
rough.
to just move, but we try to go camping. But Colton's going to sell our trailer soon, so because
So
we have to
you'd
get.
have to go camping like old-fashioned way.
That's
Yeah.
what we're doing this weekend. We're going camping old-fashioned.
I hate it. I
Oh
like
my
my
goodness.
shower and my toilet.
That's horrible.
You're roughing it.
It's horrible. My husband's like, Colton is just like, he's a Holly. We haven't been able to use it very much because of our calling. And so we haven't been able to use it, and then he got ankle surgery, so we haven't been able to use it since he's had that. And so it's been a long time since we used it. He's like, let's just sell it because we have to get Caleb a car soon because he's going to be 15 and next week. And so we're like, okay, we have to start looking at cars for him. And we have a Jeep, but putting him on the insurance on a Jeep is horrendous. And so we have to like get rid of the Jeep. So he wants to sell the Jeep, sell the trailer, and then just buy a small car. And I'm like, no. And I also like keep justifying that it's our year supply. I'm like, we can literally live inside of that if we have to. Like if we all of a sudden the world explodes and we have to go somewhere, we can take our car, take our trailer, and everything we need is in it. And he's just like, not good enough. So yeah, we would have to go old-fashioned way. And Caleb hates the trailer because he's such a camper. He's like, Mom,